Home inspection, 50 questions, answers. Question 1. While conducting an inspection, you notice what you believe to be a gas leak. Which of the following actions should you not take? A. Vacate the home. B. Indicate the problem in the inspection report. C. Continue with the inspection. D. Notify all parties and the appropriate authorities. Answer: C. While conducting an inspection, you notice what you believe to be a gas leak. In this case, do not continue the inspection. A gas leak is a potential safety hazard that needs to be addressed immediately. As soon as you suspect the home is dangerous, you must vacate the premises and let all parties know about the situation. You also need to make a note about the gas leak in the inspection report. Question 2. When completing the home inspection report, which of the following elements is not required? A. Analysis of geological hazards. B. Comments on cosmetic features. C. Opinion of property location. D. All of the above. Answer: D. When completing the home inspection report, none of the above elements is required. Inspectors have no way of predicting when geological conditions may become hazardous. Cosmetic features of the property are generally not considered during an inspection. Property location has no bearing on the inspection outcome. Question 3. While inspecting the air conditioning system, you notice the return air ducts are inadequate. How do you handle this situation on the home inspection report? A. Recommend undercutting all bedroom doors. B. Recommend installation of additional return air ducts, especially in bedrooms. C. Recommend installation of additional return air ducts, especially in bathrooms. D. Recommend a new air conditioning system. Answer: B. While inspecting the air conditioning system, you notice the return air ducts are inadequate. Your home inspection report should recommend installing additional return air ducts, especially in bedrooms. Undercutting bedroom doors does not sufficiently address the issue of reducing air pressure in the bedrooms when the doors are closed. You do not want additional return air ducts in bathrooms because bathroom odors will be dispersed throughout the home. A new air conditioning system is not necessary. Question 4. What are home inspectors not required to describe when inspecting unfinished spaces? A. Ventilation. B. Insulation. C. Temperature. D. Vapor retarders. Answer: C. Home inspectors are not required to describe the temperature when inspecting unfinished spaces. Attics and crawl spaces may be damp and cool or excessively hot. What is important to note is whether there is proper ventilation, insulation, and vapor retarders in unfinished spaces. The inspection report should detail the condition and location of these elements. Question 5. Regarding windows, which of the following elements does not require a comment in the home inspection report? A. Absence of window panes. B. Absence of window screens. C. Condition of window screens. D. Condition of window treatments. Answer: D. The condition of window treatments does not require a comment in the home inspection report. Inspectors are not required to inspect window treatments. The presence, absence, or condition of window treatments should not be included in inspection reports. Window treatments are cosmetic in nature rather than mandatory elements. Question 6. When inspecting the exterior of the home, you notice there are no rain gutters. Your report should reflect which of the following? A. There are no rain gutters. B. There are no rain gutters, and the home's foundation is compromised. C. There are no rain gutters, and the owner must install them. D. There are no rain gutters, and this is a code violation. Answer: A. When inspecting the exterior of the home, you notice there are no rain gutters. Your report should reflect that there are no rain gutters. Additional comment is not necessary because rain gutters are not legally required for health or safety reasons. The owner does not have to install rain gutters if they are not mandated by law or code. Question 7. After inspecting a vacant property, which of the following is the best statement to include in your report? A. Unable to determine overall condition of electrical system at this time. B. Pre-closing inspection is recommended. C. Plumbing system is not available to inspect at this time. D. Heating and cooling systems are not functional at this time. Answer: B. After inspecting a vacant property, the best statement to include in your report is that a pre-closing inspection is recommended. It is common for certain systems to be turned off in vacant homes. Even if you can inspect the various systems, it is possible that defects would not be visible until all systems are in full use. For this reason, the client should have another inspection completed before buying or selling the home. During the time between inspections, the electrical, plumbing, and HVAC systems should be in operation. Question 8. After completing the home inspection, how should you give your findings to the client? A. In a written report. B. In a written report with photographs. C. Verbally and in a written report. D. Any of the above. Answer: D. After completing the home inspection, you may give your findings to the client in any of the above ways, but a written report is mandatory. Some inspectors prefer to type up their findings but will give a verbal overview right away to the client. It is common for inspectors to include photographs of defects when requested to do so by clients. Question 9. Home inspection reports must contain all but which one of the following elements? A. Remaining life expectancy of appliances. B. Status of the home as occupied or vacant. C. Address of the property inspected. D. Weather conditions at time of inspection. Answer: A. Home inspection reports must contain all of the elements except the remaining life expectancy of appliances. Inspectors are not required to inspect any type of household appliance. Additionally, inspectors should not suggest a remaining life expectancy for appliances, systems, or components of systems in the home. Question 10. You open the electrical service panel and see rust inside the panel near the wires. Which of the following actions should you take? A. Do nothing as long as the rust is not on the grounding bar. B. Remove as much of the rust as possible regardless of its location. C. Describe the findings in your report and recommend an electrician examine the panel. D. Touch the wires to make sure they are safe to use. Answer: C. You open the electrical service panel and see rust inside the panel near the wires. You should describe your findings in your report and recommend an electrician examine the panel. Rust indicates water has gotten into the electrical service panel. Do not touch anything else in the panel. Close the panel door, make a note on your report, and inform the client and/or homeowner of the situation so an electrician can be called in to inspect the situation. Question 11. The following statement is included in an inspection report: gutters are filled with leaves and debris. Remove debris to prevent roof damage. How would you best describe this statement? A. Correct description of relationship between components. B. Incorrect description of relationship between components. C. Inappropriate suggestion for remedy to correct problem. D. Appropriate suggestion for remedy to correct problem. Answer: D. The following statement is included in an inspection report: gutters are filled with leaves and debris. Remove debris to prevent roof damage. This statement is an appropriate suggestion for a remedy to correct the problem. It does present a correct description of the relationship between gutters and roofs. Since the client is interested in keeping the property in good working order, it is more meaningful to include a recommendation for how to prevent damage to the roof. Question 12. To complete the home inspection report, you need to know various acronyms. What does IFS stand for? A. Exterior Insulation for Security. B. Exterior Insulation and Finish System. C. Exterior Installation of Finishing System. D. Exterior Installation for Security. Answer: B. To complete the home inspection report, you need to know various acronyms. IFS stands for Exterior Insulation and Finish System. Also known as synthetic stucco, IFS is a type of cladding used on exterior walls that insulates and waterproofs. There are many variations of IFS that are used on homes today. Question 13. While completing the inspection of the electrical system, you realize there is an electrical problem. Which of the following actions do you not take? A. Identify the cause of the electrical problem. B. Make a note of the electrical problem in your report. C. Recommend the client contact a certified electrician. D. Take a picture of the problem area. Answer: A. While completing the inspection of the electrical system, you realize there is an electrical problem. You do not need to identify the cause of the electrical problem. Home inspectors are not required to determine or identify the root cause of any type of defect or problem in the home. Your insurance provider may preclude you from identifying causes of defects to avoid liability. The problem should definitely be noted in the report, however. If you can see where the problem originates, including a picture in your report is acceptable. It is permissible to recommend the type of technician that is needed to identify and address the problem, in this scenario, a certified electrician. Question 14. You test for carbon monoxide accumulation while conducting a home inspection. What should your report reflect? A. Equipment you use to perform the test. B. Findings of the test in each room tested. C. Recommendations if deficiencies are found. D. All of the above. Answer: D. You test for carbon monoxide accumulation while conducting a home inspection. Your report should include the make and model of the carbon monoxide meter you used to test for carbon monoxide. List each room tested and the findings separately if necessary. If slight levels of carbon monoxide are detected, include recommendations to correct the problem. If high levels are detected, leave the home and inform the client and homeowners of the immediate threat. Question 15. Your client requests a technically exhaustive inspection. How do you respond? A. You prepare to perform an in-depth inspection of all systems and concealed components. B. You contact expert technicians to complete the in-depth inspections of systems. C. You explain you are only able to perform a standard inspection. D. You ask what a technically exhaustive inspection is before you complete one. Answer: C. Your client requests a technically exhaustive inspection. You respond by explaining you are only able to perform a standard inspection. A technically exhaustive inspection requires the presence of a certified electrician, plumber, and HVAC technician. You would also need to inspect components that are not visible to complete this type of inspection. Question 16. If you find deficiencies during an inspection, your inspection report should include which of the following? A. Summary of deficiencies with repair recommendations. B. Summary of deficiencies with recommendation to buy or sell. C. Summary of deficiencies with commentary about condition of home. D. Summary of deficiencies with a note the home did not pass inspection. Answer: A. If you find deficiencies during an inspection, your inspection report should include a summary of the deficiencies with repair recommendations. The summary is typically included at the end of the report. You can recommend a specific type of technician to perform the repair or to further evaluate a particular deficiency. Question 17. Which of the following observations is acceptable to include in a home inspection report? A. Home is structurally sound. B. Roof will last for at least another 5 years. C. Electrical system is perfectly safe. D. None of the above. Answer: D. None of the above observations are acceptable to include in a home inspection report. Since you are not performing a technically exhaustive inspection, you cannot state with certainty that the home is structurally sound. Only a structural engineer can make that statement. You have no way of knowing how long a roof will last. Your report can indicate the average life of a roof and when the existing roof was installed. There is no way you can know the electrical system is safe because you are only evaluating observable components of the system. Question 18. The reason weather conditions need to be noted on the inspection report is because A. Inspections in cold weather do not last as long, so they cost less. B. Accumulated snow or ice can prevent proper inspection of exterior components. C. Inspections in hot weather take longer and cost more. D. Accumulated rainwater can affect the soil around the foundation of a home. Answer: B. The reason weather conditions need to be noted on the inspection report is because accumulated snow or ice can prevent proper inspection of exterior components. Inspectors are not required to remove obstacles such as snow in order to perform an inspection. Winter weather can also prevent the air conditioning system from being tested if exterior components such as exhaust fans are not clear of snow or ice. Question 19. What should you do if you are not able to inspect a particular component for some reason? A. Mark the item as not inspected on the report and provide an explanation. B. Mark the item as failed on the report and provide an explanation. C. Mark the item as good on the report and assume everything is fine. D. Leave the item blank on the report. Answer: A. If you are not able to inspect a particular component for some reason, you should mark the item as not inspected on the report and provide an explanation. The client has the right to know if there were any limitations to your inspection. Home inspections do not pass or fail components. Rather, inspection reports provide detailed information to clients about the current state of the home, including deficiencies and recommendations for repair. Never make a guess about the condition of a component or leave an item blank on inspection reports. Both are grounds for legal action due to misrepresentation of the facts or negligence. Question 20. While inspecting, you notice that the floorboards squeak throughout the home. How do you address this in your report? A. Recommend wall-to-wall carpeting as a remedy. B. Recommend dehumidifiers in multiple rooms to eliminate water vapor. C. Make note of it but make no recommendation for repairs. D. Make note of it and recommend a structural engineer take a look at the home. Answer: C. While inspecting, you notice that the floorboards squeak throughout the home. In your report, you should make note of it but make no recommendations for repairs. Squeaks can be impossible to eliminate. It is unlikely there is any structural problem that is causing the squeaking. Carpeting will not help the situation, nor will dehumidifiers. Question 21. You include the following statement in your report: the basement is dry and is in good condition. How would you label this statement? A. Recommendation. B. Disclaimer. C. Description. D. Conclusion. Answer: D. You include the following statement in your report: the basement is dry and is in good condition. This statement is a conclusion. You made an observation about the basement being dry, and since you found no obvious deficiencies, you concluded the basement to be in good condition. You are not making any type of recommendation based on your findings. A disclaimer might begin with "based on my observations," which this does not. It exceeds a description because it includes a judgment of the basement's condition. Question 22. While performing an inspection, you notice tiny white bugs in the corner of the room. How do you report your findings? A. Make note of observation and recommend client hire a pest control expert. B. Make note of observation and recommend client find another property. C. Do not make note of observation since you are not a pest control expert. D. Do not make note of observation because it was just a few termites. Answer: A. While performing an inspection, you notice tiny white bugs in the corner of the room. You report your findings by making note of your observations and recommending the client hire a pest control expert. It is likely there are termites in the home, but you cannot tell the amount of damage already caused by them. A termite exterminator can assess the situation and provide a more accurate report of the infestation to the client. Question 23. Home inspection reports include all of these findings except which one? A. When a component is defective. B. When a component is cosmetic. C. When a component is hazardous. D. When a component is not present. Answer: B. Home inspection reports include all of these findings except when a component is cosmetic. Inspectors must report whenever there is a deficiency or a component is defective. All safety issues must be reported to the client and possibly to the homeowner and appropriate authorities as well. If a component is not present, such as central heating and air conditioning, it needs to be noted in the report. Question 24. The client wants to know if the appliances are working properly. How do you respond? A. If you do not inspect appliances, inform your client in advance. B. If you do not inspect appliances, suggest the client get another inspector. C. If you do inspect appliances, include your findings in the report. D. Any of the above is an acceptable response. Answer: D. The client wants to know if the appliances are working properly. Inspectors are not required to inspect appliances. However, it is entirely up to you to decide if that is a service you are going to offer clients. If so, you should know enough about all types of appliances to adequately perform appliance inspections. Or, the client can have someone else check out the appliances while you perform a standard inspection of the home. Question 25. Ivy is taking over part of an exterior wall of the home. How do you best address this in your report? A. Conclude it may damage the exterior wall. B. Conclude it may eventually decrease the home's value. C. Conclude it may affect the home's interior temperature. D. Conclude it may discolor the exterior wall. Answer: A. Ivy is taking over part of an exterior wall of the home. You address this in your report by concluding it may damage the exterior wall. Ivy and other vegetation can damage exterior walls by getting into the stucco or growing behind siding, which allows moisture to seep in and do even more damage. You can also recommend it be removed so current damage can be assessed and repaired. Question 26. When describing the siding of a home, which of the following is an appropriate response? A. It looks to be about 25 years old and should be replaced. B. It looks to be about 25 years old and needs to be repainted. C. It is made of aluminum and has multiple missing nails. D. It is made of aluminum and has been painted an ugly green. Answer: C. When describing the siding of a home, an appropriate response is that it is made of aluminum and has multiple missing nails. In addition to describing the siding material as required, the fact that there are missing nails indicates there are deficiencies in the siding. Without the nails, the wind can get behind the siding and lift it away from the home's exterior. Moisture can get behind the siding and cause damage to the home. Question 27. Home inspectors are not required to inspect recreational facilities. Which of the following is not considered a recreational facility? A. Swimming pool. B. Sauna. C. Steam bath. D. Walk-in shower. Answer: D. Home inspectors are not required to inspect recreational facilities. A walk-in shower is not considered a recreational facility. You will need to perform a standard inspection on the shower. Include relevant findings in your inspection report. Question 28. When performing an inspection, you need to determine if individual components are safe. Which of the following actions can cause a component to be unsafe? A. Damage to the component. B. Improper installation of the component. C. Deterioration of the component. D. All of the above. Answer: D. When performing an inspection, you need to determine if individual components are safe. A component can be unsafe for all of the above reasons. Damage can result from misuse of a component or an accident. If the component was not installed properly to begin with, it can become unsafe over time. Natural wear and tear causes components to deteriorate and become unsafe. Question 29. A standard home inspection is different from a technically exhaustive inspection. Which of the following elements is not included in a standard home inspection? A. Inspection of installed components and systems. B. Inspection of hidden components and systems. C. Inspection of visually observable components and systems. D. Inspection of readily accessible components and systems. Answer: B. A standard home inspection is different from a technically exhaustive inspection. A standard home inspection does not include inspection of hidden components and systems. You are only required to inspect components and systems that are observable and accessible. You do not need to inspect anything that is not installed since there is no way to determine if it works properly. Question 30. When you notice a problem with a component or system during an inspection, which of the following should you include in your report? A. Recommendations to ignore the deficiency. B. Recommendations to correct the deficiency. C. Recommendations to monitor the deficiency. D. Both A and B are acceptable recommendations. E. Both B and C are acceptable recommendations. Answer: E. When you notice a problem with a component or system during an inspection, both B and C are acceptable recommendations. You should never recommend a client ignore any deficiency. Instead, recommend they correct the problem or at least monitor it and make repairs at some point in the future. Question 31. Heating systems often use PEX tubing. What does PEX stand for? A. Polyethylene exchange. B. Polyvinyl exchange. C. Cross-linked polyethylene. D. Cross-linked polyvinyl. Answer: C. Heating systems often use PEX tubing. PEX stands for cross-linked polyethylene. It is a common alternative to copper tubing in homes. It is available in various diameters, which makes it versatile. Question 32. Your inspection report must contain details on which of the following problems? A. Unsafe components or systems. B. Improper functioning of components or systems. C. Components or systems that are nearing the end of their service life. D. All of the above. Answer: D. Your inspection report must contain details on all of the above problems. Anytime you identify a problem that is a potential safety hazard, you must make a note in your report. If a component or system is not working properly, indicate this as well as the type of technician needed to fix the problem. Always include details on the service life of components and systems so the client has an estimate of the amount of time remaining before repairs or replacements might be needed. Question 33. Which of the following are you required to inspect during your inspection of the home's exterior? A. Sheds. B. Docks. C. Fences. D. Carport. Answer: D. During your inspection of the home's exterior, you are required to inspect the carport. Other types of outbuildings such as sheds do not have to be inspected. Fences and docks are not required inspection areas since they are not connected to the home and cannot damage the home's structural integrity. Question 34. Your client is interested in starting a home-based business in the home you are inspecting. When asked if the home is suitable for the type of business planned, how do you respond? A. I believe it is a suitable use for the property. B. I am unable to determine the suitability of the property. C. It is not appropriate for me to make a recommendation either way. D. I believe you should find another type of home-based business. Answer: C. Your client is interested in starting a home-based business in the home you are inspecting. When asked if the home is suitable for the type of business planned, you respond, it is not appropriate for me to make a recommendation either way. Home inspectors are not required to determine the suitability of a home for a particular use based on inspection outcomes. Your role is to provide an objective summary of the home's condition so the client can make informed decisions related to the property. Question 35. When you turn on the faucets, you notice the water pressure is typical. You indicate this in your report, but your client wants to specifically know if it is sufficient for a family of 4. How do you respond? A. Indicate that as long as they conserve water, it should be fine. B. Indicate you do not make determinations of adequacy for any component or system. C. Indicate you are happy to make repairs to improve water pressure. D. Indicate the water pressure will only get worse over time. Answer B. When you turn on the faucets, you notice the water pressure is typical. You indicate this in your report, but your client wants to specifically know if it is sufficient for a family of 4. You respond by indicating you do not make determinations of adequacy for any component or system. It is up to the client to determine if they are happy with the water pressure. It is a matter of preference and the client can make changes to improve the strength of the pressure or overall efficiency of the plumbing system. Question 36. You are inspecting a home in a community with recently implemented ordinances pertaining to noise control. Your client wants to know if the walls are soundproof enough to allow for social gatherings while still meeting ordinance requirements. How should you respond? A. Remind your client the inspection does not include determining compliance with ordinances. B. Recommend your client hire a structural engineer to test the wall soundproofing. C. Suggest your client hire a soundproofing expert to renovate the walls in order to be compliant. D. Tell your client about a friend of yours who specializes in soundproofing homes. Answer A. You are inspecting a home in a community with recently implemented ordinances pertaining to noise control. Your client wants to know if the walls are soundproof enough to allow for social gatherings while still meeting ordinance requirements. You respond by reminding your client the inspection does not include determining compliance with ordinances. Home inspectors are not required to determine if city building codes, local or state ordinances, or other regulations are being met or violated. You can only provide details about the condition of the home. Question 37. Your client mentions he plans to flip the property after buying it and wants you to perform your inspection from the standpoint of determining value and marketability of the home. How do you reflect this information in your report? A. You provide the best estimate possible in your report. B. You have an appraiser review your report and get an estimate for your report. C. You do not include any information on property value or marketability in your report. D. You talk to neighbors to determine local property values and include estimate in your report. Answer C. Your client mentions he plans to flip the property after buying it and wants you to perform your inspection from the standpoint of determining value and marketability of the home. You should not include any information on property value or marketability in your report. You are a home inspector, not an appraiser. Providing such information is beyond your scope of responsibility. Question 38. Which types of warning devices are you required to discuss in your inspection report? A. Carbon monoxide detectors. B. Smoke detectors. C. Security alarms. D. Only A and B. E. Only B and C. Answer D. The types of warning devices you are required to include in your inspection report are only A and B. You especially want to indicate the presence or absence of these detectors. You are not required to inspect security alarms of any kind. Question 39. Home inspection reports are required to include the location of which of the following components? A. Security alarm panel. B. Main water shutoff valve. C. Fuel shutoff valve. D. All of the above. E. Only B and C. Answer: E. Home inspection reports are required to include the location of only B and C. You are required to clearly indicate where the shutoff valves for water and fuel to the home are located. Clients need to know if those locations are easily accessible in case of an emergency. Question 40. While conducting an inspection, you notice the foundation walls have major cracks. What do you say about your findings in the inspection report? A. Describe the cracks and indicate they can be repaired at minimal cost. B. Describe the cracks and suggest the client stay out of the basement. C. Describe the cracks and recommend the client hire a structural engineer. D. Describe the cracks and inform the client of the decrease in property value. Answer: C. While conducting an inspection, you notice the foundation walls have major cracks. In the inspection report, describe the cracks and recommend the client hire a structural engineer. Depending on the location of the cracks, a soils engineer may also need to be contacted to further evaluate the home's foundation. Home inspectors should never discuss possible costs associated with repairs. The same is true with respect to the value of a home. Question 41. While inspecting the furnace, you notice the heat exchanger is rusted. What is the proper way to describe this in your inspection report? A. Describe your findings and submit the report. B. Describe your findings and recommend the furnace be replaced. C. Describe your findings and suggest the furnace not be used. D. Describe your findings and indicate the furnace is no longer effective. Answer: B. While inspecting the furnace, you notice the heat exchanger is rusted. The proper way to describe this in your inspection report is to describe your findings and recommend the furnace be replaced. When there is rust on the heat exchanger, the furnace is no longer safe. Higher levels of carbon monoxide can be released in the air, posing a serious health hazard to occupants. Question 42. What is the expected service life of vinyl siding? A. 10 years in humid climates. B. 15 years in cool climates. C. 20 years in dry climates. D. 25 years in all climates. Answer: D. The expected service life of vinyl siding is 25 years in all climates. Vinyl siding is a type of cladding made out of plastic that is installed on the exterior of homes. It is highly durable and a viable alternative to aluminum siding. Question 43. You notice bulging plaster on one of the living room walls. You determine this is a possible safety concern. B. Problem with the installation. C. Cosmetic problem with the wall. D. Dilemma that requires an expert's opinion. Answer: A. You notice bulging plaster on one of the living room walls. You determine this is a possible safety concern. It is likely moisture has accumulated where the wall is bulging. It may eventually burst, which can cause injuries. In the meantime, mold can be growing in the affected area, which is a serious health concern. Question 44. Why should you not recommend copper gutters to your client after your inspection reveals the existing gutters to be pitted? A. Because pitted gutters are just fine. B. Because pitted gutters are a cosmetic problem. C. Because it is not your place as an inspector. D. Because it is not a good recommendation. Answer: C. You should not recommend copper gutters to your client after your inspection reveals the existing gutters to be pitted because it is not your place as an inspector. When you get that specific in a recommendation, you are overstepping your role as an inspector. There are many options available to your client. All you need to do is recommend the pitted gutters be replaced. Question 45. If you include photographs with your inspection report, do you need to provide a disclaimer? A. No, the photographs speak for themselves, so a disclaimer is redundant. B. No, the photographs are not required, so any type of disclaimer is not needed. C. Yes, the photographs should not be viewed critically since you are an amateur. D. Yes, the photographs may not reflect all deficiencies found during the inspection. Answer: D. If you include photographs with your inspection report, you do need to provide a disclaimer. The disclaimer should indicate that the photographs may not reflect all deficiencies found during the inspection. You may only want to include photographs of the worst deficiencies. A disclaimer protects you against claims of negligence if photographs of certain deficiencies are not included in the report. Question 46. What is another way to describe the roof deck? A. Trussing. B. Joisting. C. Sheathing. D. Shingling. Answer: C. Another way to describe the roof deck is sheathing. Sheathing is needed if you plan to install shingles. Roof sheathing is typically comprised of boards or panels of material such as plywood. Shingles are then nailed to the sheathing. Question 47. Which of the following are you required to inspect? A. Driveways. B. Patios. C. Adjacent walkways. D. All of the above. E. Only A and B. Answer: D. You are required to inspect all of the above. You are looking for cracks and other safety issues. It is possible for cement to settle over time and cause such defects. Those cracks can permit moisture infiltration that may weaken the underlying foundation. Question 48. Which one of the following is an acceptable format for a home inspection report? A. Narrative report only. B. Checklist report only. C. Narrative and checklist report. D. Any of the above. Answer: D. Any of the above is an acceptable format for a home inspection report. Some clients want to be able to walk away with a report upon the conclusion of the inspection. In this situation, a checklist is the best option. However, many inspectors prefer narrative reports in order to provide details of their findings as a way to provide valuable information to clients and protect themselves against claims of negligence. Yet others prefer the combined approach. Whatever your preference, be sure to use the same reporting method with all of your clients. Question 49. Which of the following are common tools used by home inspectors? A. Marble. B. Flashlight. C. All. D. Only A and B. E. All of the above. Answer: E. Common tools used by home inspectors include all of the above. Marbles are used to determine if floors slant or are level. Flashlights are used to see into dark areas. And awls can be used instead of screwdrivers to search for wood decay. Question 50. Why do home inspectors keep magnets on hand during inspections? A. To make sure the surface of refrigerator doors work properly. B. To verify mirrors in the home are authentic. C. To test plumbing pipes for iron material. D. To post notes for the owner. Answer: C. Home inspectors keep magnets on hand during inspections to test plumbing pipes for iron material. Iron plumbing pipes should be replaced because there are better materials available. In particular, copper piping became a popular alternative in America in the 1960s. Thank you for watching.